What is suffering in your understanding of it?
Well, again, yeah, we can talk about suffering in many different ways. We can talk about suffering. Some people talk about suffering as identification. Some people talk about suffering as judgment. Some people you can talk about suffering in many ways, but most fundamentally, most fundamentally, suffering is resistance to experience.
Uh-huh. I
So
see.
suffering is the belief or a view. We could put it this way: that the experience that you're having is something that you shouldn't be having,
Yeah.
that you would rather have something else, that you would rather experience something else. And it's connected to this idea of spirituality of being right here, right now, because so
Hmm.
right here, right now is the only experience accessible to you. So when you're not here or now, whether you're in the past or in the future, you're basically wanting to be somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? So if you in the past and it's a traumatic past and you're reliving your past uh, difficulties, your past defenses, your past traumas, if it's a good past, then you're nostalgizing. Then in the future, right? If you're thinking about the bad future, then you're experiencing fear and anxiety also right now. But you're there, you're in the future, but the experience of fear and anxiety is right now,
Yeah.
and you don't like it, of course. Or if you're hopeful about the future and very ecstatic about the future, then you're also fantasizing about how good it will be.
Yeah.
Not now, right? You're going somewhere else. So this sort of uh, rejection of the present experience in favor of something else, be it in the past, in the future, or some fantasy realms, or anything at all, is what constitutes dreaming.
Hmm.
And that's what constitutes suffering. So we pick and choose. We always want some experience that is not the one that we're having. And if we're having a difficult experience, then we want to escape it. We want to avoid it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's suffering. So suffering and bondage, suffering and being enslaved, suffering and unconscious programming, suffering and those kind of automatic unconscious behaviors, suffering and lack of freedom are very, very deeply connected in this way.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Be here now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the teaching is so simple, but it seems
Yes.
like
I mean, it's extraordinarily simple. It's just the path is very simple. It's just not easy.
yeah. It's peculiar in that way.
Yes.
Because really, when it comes down to it, I guess if you want to explain it in a simplified manner, and we've all heard this before, obviously, it's be in the moment, right? Be
Yes.
here in the
Yes.
moment. That's really what it comes down to. But it seems
Precisely.
like
But yes.
we
But
do it to
sometimes, but the
ourselves.
difficulty is, oh, I apologize. I didn't
No,
mean
go
to
ahead. Go
interrupt.
ahead.
But the difficulty is that sometimes what you experience in the moment is not pleasant at all,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? It like you begin to meditate, you meditate for a few hours, and there's boredom, or there's fear, or there's anxiety, or there's anger, or there's something else, you know. So the habitual conditioned response of the mind is, no, this is not what I want. I want to distract myself now with something else. I want to create some other experience for myself. And some meditators actually in their meditating practice even encourage this sort of creation of experience. So whenever something uncomfortable comes up, they say, "Oh, imagine or give it compassion or something like this." What you really need to do is to give it attention,
Mm.
is to give it awareness. And attention and awareness is the strongest, deepest form of compassion. So a very common mistake in meditation is yearning for a specific experience or trying to avoid any difficult experience in meditation. And it's the same mistake that people make in life,
Yeah.
you know?
Interesting. Mm. So it
And,
seems to
and,
be. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to finish up now. And the teaching is very simple. But the path is not easy to follow because it involves accepting the whole variety, the whole universe of your experiences. And some of them can be excruciatingly painful, but some of them would be not excruciatingly, but overwhelmingly beautiful
Yeah.
and extraordinary beautiful, because there's a deep symmetry of all experiences in the mind. It's like if you can be in the deepest pit of despair, then you can also be at the highest peak of ecstasy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all of those experiences are explored in the spiritual path, accepted, lived through on the way to liberation.
Mm. Yeah. So would you say the path to liberation is finding the equanimity between the two poles of experience that you described, the symmetry between the two? It's to find somewhere in the middle, the middle way.
You can't. Yes and no, because yes, because equanimity and acceptance of all experience is your true nature.
Mm-hmm.
From this perspective, yes. No, because it's not something that you can find. Because like for as long, if you think that you found it, like for example, if you think that you learn to balance it, then there's some effort involved in it.
I see.
And the true equanimity and peace are completely effortless. So it's not like trying to find it or balance it, or all of those are still attempts to control it. It's basically opening up to more and more of it, opening up to any experience at all, and actually experiencing it, which is the difficult part of the path. But the other side of this coin is bliss. The other side of this coin is happiness. The other side of this coin is joy. So basically loosening resistance and expectations from experience.
I see.
And then with time, what happens is as you lose resistance and expectation of experience, you start seeing for yourself. It's not like something you find, it finds yourself. You start seeing for yourself that they're all, that you can take them all, mm-hmm. that none of them lasts forever, that none of them kills you, that you're absolutely capable to go through the most difficult fear as well as the most blissful, ecstatic experience, which can be so amazing that it's almost painful in its unfamiliarity. And slowly the mind learns to stop differentiating and being open to everything.
Yeah. Well said. Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
Wow. We're only 15 minutes in. I feel like we've covered a lot of bases. This is great.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't even know where to go from here. It seems like
take your time. Take your time.
It seems like from what you described is something that is how do I put this? It's like the difference between pain and suffering,
Yes.
It's like when you truly do have no outcome orientation, pain is different. I don't know how to explain it.
No. I understand precisely what you're saying. Yes, physical pain is unavoidable. Pain is different. Suffering is not pain. Suffering, strictly speaking, is a very peculiar thing. Suffering comes up in the total absence of pain. Like, for example, what happens in meditation? Like you take a beginner meditator or even an intermediate meditator, and they meditate, let's say, for 2 or 3 hours. They're not going to like it. Mm-hmm. Right? So what's happening? Your body's completely safe. You're fed. You're warm. You're comfortable. You're not doing anything. And yet it can be fearful, boring, exhausting, difficult. So what is that? That's suffering, right? So suffering is basically difficult experience. You can also call it pain, but it's not a physical pain. Sometimes it manifests as physical pain, but it's temporary. But you can call it like emotional, energetic pain. The pain, some sort of pain of internal experience that has nothing to do with the physical circumstances of your situation. And that's why it all comes from the past. So all suffering is coming from the past. It's not. It's coming from our conditioning. It's coming from the abuses. It's coming from the mistreatment. It's coming from the sickness of our society. It's coming from how we were treated before, and all the beliefs that we accumulated, and all the suppression, the emotional suppression. that we have been doing to ourselves.
Yeah.
So suffering is basically, you can define suffering as discomfort, which can rise to tremendous levels in the total absence of objective difficulty. So that's suffering.
Wow. That's good, man. And it all comes down to attachment.
Yes, in a way, yes. To attachment to feeling a certain way, which also can be described as attachment to life circumstance, to other people, to things we owe, to a relationship, but fundamentally, all of those attachments are attachments to feeling a certain way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately, you're going to lose it all. We all die.
Yeah.
So, but the fear of losing it is the fear of feeling bad.